this cellar is located in California. So I'm looking at this space. This is an actual outbuilding. This is not part of the house. This is an exterior outbuilding that the client had us convert into a wine cellar. So it's in his backyard. What we did was we did an all traditional wine cellar. The client was looking to have it capacity driven. So they were looking to have more of just individual bottle racking with some display. And we did everything out of white oak unfinished. You can see that the racks go above the door, and that's called a bridge. So we do that so we can, kind of maximize the capacity. And it also looks pretty cool because when you walk underneath, as you walk in, you could see the labels of your bottles above your head. So the bottle capacity on this one was 1,715 bottles. We have spaces in here for 750 milliliters. We also have spaces in here for magnums, for your larger formats. And then there's angled display rows, which, are basically just for you to be able to have bottles on display, to be able to see the different type of labels that you have throughout the space. And then we also have some magnums on display as well. There is a decanting area as well, and that's where you'll put, wine glasses or open a bottle. We have lattice sides on the left and right side of that decanting area. That's just to give it more of a decorative feel. It kind of gives it definitely more of a personality as far as the rack goes, rather than just having its side being, looking at the sides of the spacer bars and bottle supports. And we use 3000K LED tape lights that we put behind the valance there where the angled displays are. So behind that piece of trim that drops down a little bit from the rack, we have tape lighting going around the whole angled display area there for additional lighting. In this space, we utilized a RM 3600. That's a rack mount 3600 cooling system. It's recessed into the ceiling, and we did a custom grill for the RM 3600 that's in there. So depending on where you're located right now, let's say if this house was somewhere inland that gets 110 degrees outside during the summer, yes, that's going to affect it. But here, no, that's not the case. It's a steady climate where this one is located. And we did do quite a bit of insulation. And he has an exterior grade door on there without glass, which is very important. Because when it's an outside type of wine cellar that, it's not interior, you don't want the sun beaming through that glass door. It was done correctly, utilizing an interior grade solid door rather than trying to show it off as an outbuilding being a wine cellar. This is what you consider a collector's wine cellar because it's straightforward. It has display in it and looks beautiful, but every bottle has its own weight. Every bottle has its own place. And this guy collects wine. He's not worried about what anyone else thinks. It was more so just making sure that we got what the client wanted as far as the capacity and the specific sizes of bottles that they wanted within the space. And the reason why I say we've done wine cellars like this that have 10,000 or 12,000 bottles. So that would be maybe more considered a collector's wine cellar. But when I mean collector, what they're concerned about is their collection. And that's why when you do a design like this, they're doing it to protect their wine in the best form. If there's an earthquake and bottles start to shake, this type of design is going to keep your inventory as safe as possible compared to you just having a wall of pegs and wine sitting on those pegs, and then there's an earthquake. It's all coming crashing down to the floor. This was a pretty straightforward cellar. I think it was more so just making sure that we got what the client wanted as far as the capacity. The cool part about it is it has its own space. So for us to be able to run our line sets and mechanical and everything else, it just makes it a little bit easier because we're going directly outside with our compressor, with our wires, with everything else. So it's white oak unfinished, and we also did plywood backing behind the lattice racks to give it more of a finished look. So usually you'd be able to see the drywall behind these racks, but you cannot because we added plywood paneling behind the back of the racks to give it more of a finished look.
Do you have a space that you want to turn into a wine cellar to protect your valuable wine collection? Send your inquiries through our website at www.vintagecellars.com or call us at 800-876-8789 to learn more.